Okay, so what I wanted to do now is a really quick video going through how to set up a paragraph based on the work that you'd sent in last week. So just to recap before we go through what you should have written or some of the ideas of things you could have written, just to remind ourselves what a paragraph looks like. So the first thing we need to have is a point. The first line that you need to have in every paragraph is the point that you're trying to make. It should only be a few words in length. Then we have an example. Now the example is going to illustrate the point which you've just made. Again, this should be really quite short, a sentence, no more. Then we're going to get to the real meat of the paragraph, and this is your explanation. So in this point here, you're looking at theory, diagrams and key terms. Now at the moment we're doing macroeconomics work, so we're going to be looking mostly at the circular flow diagram to assist you in actually supporting writing the point. Then you're going to have a leading to. So you're going to tell me what the importance is of your point in relation to budgeting. Okay, so budget, surplus, unemployment, growth, inflation, trade, equality and environmental standards. And finally, for discussion questions, we're going to evaluate. So through an evaluation, you're going to tell me why the point you've just made may not hold or the weaknesses in the argument which you've just stated. So here is a point which most of you made last week on the essay. So the essay we looked at was go through what the government had done, assess what the government had done in support of the economy through coronavirus. So the majority have said the government had supported wages. That was your original point. And that is correct. The example you then said to me was the government had announced that they would guarantee 80% of wages up to £2,500. Again, this was the same for nearly all students. However, how did some students get an A? All those top marks? Well, what they were able to do was explain it using aggregate demand and aggregate supply. So, through the government's policy of supporting wages at 80% up to £2,500, this keeps disposable incomes high, supporting consumption in the economy and stopping aggregate demand from falling to a low point. So I've put here from falling to AD2 and only falling from AD1. So AD is where the economy is at the moment, before the coronavirus. AD2 is where the economy would have fallen without government intervention, and AD1 is where the economy has fallen after coronavirus and the government intervention. This will lead to growth falling to Y1, but not falling to a lower level of Y2. So that refers to my budgeting points from before. To evaluate, GDP may still slow past AD1. Why? Because a significant fall in confidence in the economy, even though the government's intervened, it's not going to be enough to actually stop the economy from falling further down. So what most people didn't do was use this diagram to explain the point. They understood the point, they understood why the government was doing it, but wasn't able to show that through the ADAS diagram and then the evaluation at the end. The evaluation has to be why this point you've just said may fall, what the weaknesses is in the point. And the weakness for me in this point is it doesn't really matter how much government spend. If confidence falls, the economy will still fall significantly. Thank you.